Heavy overnight rain across parts of the north and west of the UK. More to come through the course of today, but the winds easing a little bit. Drier and brighter in the southeast. And here we could see temperatures as high as 15, 16, possibly even 17 degrees. I'll have more later in the programme. Good morning, that's right, Lou. For many of us, well, it will be dry, but for some of us, we're going to continue with some rain. We've had heavy overnight rain, particularly across parts of Cumbria. But one thing you will notice is it's mild. It's a mild start. It's going to be a mild day. These are a range of temperatures. Bude is in Cornwall, already 13 degrees. London, Cardiff and Manchester, 12. Edinburgh, 11 and Belfast 10. So you get the picture. But we do still have all this rain across the north and the west of the UK. Still quite blunt. Now, these are the sustained wind speeds, but you can see out towards the west, it is going to be that bit stronger, and the gusts certainly will be higher than that. Temperatures today, well, 9 to 16 or 17. 17 if we see the cloud break for long enough and the sun come out for long enough, and 17 is way above average for this time of year. Now, through this evening and overnight, our band of rain, if anything, moves a bit further east and tends to weaken. There'll be a lot of cloud ahead of it. The wind will also ease across much of England and Wales. Still gusty across the northwest, where we'll continue with some showers, and a cooler night than the one just gone. But still, these temperatures are higher than we'd expect overnight at this stage in February too. I'll have a longer weather forecast in half an hour, but for now, back to Lou and Charlie.
Thank you.
Both. I'm going to start off with this lovely picture of London, sent in from one of our weather watchers this morning. Look at this skyline. Should also say good morning to you. What we're looking at forecast-wise today is another blustery day. The wind's not quite as strong as they were yesterday. There's more rain for some of us, but it certainly is mild. It's a mild start, and it will continue in that vein through the day. All this cloud has been producing some rain for some of us. Keswick, for example, in the Lake Districts had 75 millimetres of rain in the last 24 hours. That's getting on for 3 inches, and there's more rain for you today. You can see it extending through Wales into the southwest, with a few showers in Scotland, some sunshine in the far north. And as we come to the other end of that weather front, you can see too that we'll have some sunshine as we push further south across some parts of Wales, central and eastern England. Some of that will be hazy at times. Now, these are the average wind speeds. Gusty winds out towards the west, higher obviously than the average speed. Temperature-wise, we're looking at 9 to about 15 or 16, but in any prolonged spells of sunshine somewhere in eastern England could hit 17, possibly even 18 degrees, way above average for this stage in February. Now, through this evening and overnight, we still have this rain. If anything, though, it's going to be drifting towards the east with all its cloud, and it will weaken. Behind it, there'll be some showers, especially across the north and the west. And although it will be a colder night than last night, these temperatures are still above average, some longer spells of rain. But in between these two areas, there will be a lot of dry weather, the odd shower, possibly as far south as North Wales, and winds, the direction changing subtly to more of a westerly, so temperatures won't be quite as high. We're looking at 8 to 12 degrees. So these are closer to average, but if anything, still a little bit above. Then as we move into Friday, it's going to be a cold start. Some of us will have some frost, some patchy mist and fog to start with. That will lift. There'll be a fair bit of sunshine. Areas of cloud could produce the odd shower across the northwest. And these are our temperatures, 8 to about 13 degrees. Into the weekend, a high pressure takes charge of our weather. There will be fronts just moving around the top of it across Northern Ireland, northern Scotland, the northwest of Scotland. Here we could see some spots of rain, nothing too heavy. But for most into the weekend, it's going to be drier, lighter winds, chilly nights, and some patchy fog to boot as well. Charlie and Lou.
Thanks, Karen.
Overnight rain across some northern and western areas. More for you to come today. A blustery day ahead, not quite as windy as yesterday though, and some of us may get up to 16 or 17 degrees. I'll tell you where later in the programme. Well, today, Lou, some of us have got some sunshine, some of us are going to see some rain, but all of us are going to be mild. Good morning. The temperatures at the moment are on the high side for this stage in February and for this time of day. Look at this, 13 in Birmingham, 10 in Glasgow, 11 in Rhyl, and that sets the scene for the rest of the day as temperatures shoot up, potentially it could be the warmest day of this year so far. Now, it's not bone dry. We still have a lot of rain across northern England, Wales, and also some showers across parts of Scotland and 1 or 2 in Northern Ireland. But there's some sunshine as well. Northern Scotland seeing that, parts of Northern Ireland and parts of England and Wales. Some of that will be hazy, and it depends where we see the prolonged breaks in the cloud, where we'll have the highest temperatures, of course. Now, these are the average wind speeds. So it's still going to be a blustery day wherever you are, with gusty winds out towards the west in particular. So here are the temperatures. In the north, 9 to about 13 degrees. As we come further south, 16, maybe even 17 degrees. Could again even get up as high as 18, but I'll be telling you about that tomorrow if it did happen. Through this evening and overnight, we still have this band of rain. It's going to be pushing eastwards. It will weaken, but there'll be a lot of cloud around it. Across England and Wales, the wind will ease, but it will still be gusty across the west of Scotland, blowing in all these showers. And although it's going to be a cooler night than the one that has just gone, these temperatures for overnight lows are still quite high for this time of year. I'll have a longer forecast with more details in half an hour. For now, though, back to Lou and Charlie. Well, very mixed actually, Charlie. Good morning, everybody. Once again today, there's some rain in very similar areas to where we had it yesterday. It's going to be a blustery day, but it's also going to be a mild one, and some of us will see some sunshine. Now, this is the rainfall that we've had already this morning. In fact, in Keswick, there's been over 75 millimetres of rain in the last 24 hours or so. That's getting on for 3 inches. And you can see we still have more to come in the Lake District and Northern England and Wales today. Some showers across Northern Ireland and Scotland, Eastern Wales and Northern Scotland, and eventually Northern Ireland. We're looking at a bright day with some hazy sunshine. Now, these are the average wind speeds. The gusts, of course, will be higher than this, especially out towards the west. But generally speaking, it's not as windy a day as it was yesterday. Temperature-wise, 9 to 15 or 16. But if we have any prolonged spells of sunshine, for example, in some eastern areas, we could well get up to 17, maybe even 18 degrees. That would make it the warmest day of this year so far. Now, through this evening and overnight, we still have this arc of rain. It's going to be pushing towards the east overnight with all its cloud. And if anything, the rain will tend to become much lighter. Still a lot of showers coming in across the west of Scotland, being driven in on a strong wind, but the wind tending to ease across England and also Wales. And temperature-wise, well, we're looking at 4 in Aberdeen to 10 in London. Now, for the rest of tomorrow, you can see we've got the weather front still in the southeast, still producing a fair bit of cloud, also some patchy rain at times. And this little scamp coming across the west of Scotland is going to enhance the showers, and sometimes they'll merge, giving longer spells of rain. But in between, it's going to be a dry day with a fair bit of sunshine. Subtle change in the wind direction. It'll be a cold start. There'll be some frost around first thing. Also some patchy mist and fog, but that will all lift quite readily. There'll be a lot of dry weather as well, and a fair bit of sunshine. At times there'll be some cloud crossing Scotland, for example. That might produce the odd shower, and temperatures still above average, 8 to about 13 degrees. As for the weekend, well, high pressure firmly takes charge of our weather. On Saturday, a couple of weather fronts skirting across Northern Ireland and also Northern Scotland could well produce some patchy rain, but not much more than that. So as we head into the weekend under that high pressure, it is going to be drier. The winds will be lighter. By night it will be chilly, and we could see a touch of frost here and there. And there will also be some patchy fog, but most of that should lift readily as we go through the course of both Saturday and Sunday. So things quietening down after a lot of rain for some the early part of this week. Charlie and Livy's.
Hello.
Start to the day, and it's going to be a mild day generally. There's some rain in the forecast once again, some sunshine, and we could well see the highest temperature of this year so far. I'll tell you where that's likely later in the programme. Everybody, well, to start with, it is a mild start to the day, very mild for this time of year. In Preston, it's 12, St Helier in the Channel Islands, 11, Bristol, 11, Bala in Wales, 10, Armagh, Northern Ireland, 10, and Inverness, 9. So you get the picture, but it's not bone dry. We've had a lot of rain overnight, and there's more to come across Northern England and Wales, especially through the course of today. Some showers in Scotland, few in Northern Ireland, few in Southern England, but mostly it's dry to the north and the south of this front with variable amounts of cloud. It's also a blustery day wherever you are. Winds not quite as strong as 9 in Lerwick, easily 15 or 16 as we come further south. But in any prolonged spells of sunshine, we could hit 17, maybe even 18 degrees. If that happens, it will be the warmest day of this year so far. Now, through this evening and overnight, we continue with the rain. As it advances eastwards with all its cloud, what you'll find is the rain will turn a little bit more fragmented, and behind it, blowing in those showers across western Scotland, but the wind easing across England and Wales. Our overnight lows, 4 in Aberdeen to 10 in London. And although those temperatures are lower than last night, they still are high overnight lows, if you see what I mean, for this time of year. Charlie and Lou.
Yeah, it's not technical note. I hear with the weather. Morning, Carol. How about that? It looks lovely, didn't it?
It does indeed, John. I was going to say John was talking about the Lake District, and I'm going to talk about that as well, because Keswick in the last 24 hours has had 78 millimetres of rainfall. That is over 3 inches. Good morning, and good morning to Charlie and Lou as well. I get the names right eventually. Now, today we're looking at a mild day. It's been a really mild start and another blustery day in prospect as well, and further rain in the forecast. You can see where we've had the rain through the course of the night and the early part of today, and it's going to continue as we go through the rest of today across northern England and Wales in particular. Mentioned it was a blustery day, and it is. The wind's not quite as strong as they were yesterday. These are the average wind speeds out towards the west. They will be fairly gusty, especially so with exposure, and temperatures ranging from 9 to about 15 or 16. But if you are in an area more than likely in eastern parts of England where we've got prolonged sunshine, we could hit 17, possibly even 18 degrees. Now, as we head through the evening and overnight, we still do have this weather front producing the rain, but as it pushes eastwards with its cloud, the rain on it becomes more fragmented, and then behind it there'll be some clear skies, showers being driven into the west of Scotland on a brisk wind, but the wind easing across England and also Wales. Chilly night in Northern Ireland, 5 degrees. As we head through tomorrow, here is the offending weather front. It will be still producing cloud and some light rain and drizzle across central and southeastern areas. This weather front across the northwest of Scotland will introduce some showers, and at times they'll merge to give some longer spells of rain, but the winds will be lighter. Now, in between these two areas, there will be a lot of dry weather around. Having said that, you could catch a shower as far south as North Wales, but most won't. Most will stay dry. And with more of a westerly component to the wind, we are looking at temperatures a little bit lower than today, 8 to about 12 or 13 degrees. That's still, though, above average for this stage in February. Now, on Friday, we start off on a cold note. There'll be some frost around, some patchy mist and fog, and there'll also be a bit of cloud coming in across Scotland, northern England, and to the west of Northern Ireland. May produce a shower. Chances are it'll stay dry, and our temperatures 8 to about 13 degrees. For the weekend, high pressure really takes charge of the weather. We do have a weather front toppling over the top of that area of high pressure, so we could see a bit more cloud across Northern Ireland and north and west Scotland at times, which will be thick enough for the odd spot of rain. But the weekend generally drier with lighter winds, chilly nights and patchy fog. Charlie and Lou.
Have a lovely day, Carol.